Steve, a week without a midweek game, how have you and the players been able to use the time?
Yeah, I mean, we always manage to use the training time well anyway. So yeah, it's just it's nice to have a break in the schedule because we haven't had many of them. Um, when we think about that National League Cup, that's taken 4 weeks of any games that we could have rearranged or any cup games or anything like that out of our schedule. And a few other teams haven't gone in it, and I'm sure that's benefited them.
And you've talked about having to manage the players so that they're not tired. How much of an opportunity, therefore, is the trophy this weekend, where you've made minor changes, but definitely not wholesale changes?
Well, okay, so I just tapped on then when we talked about those cup games that we had, those National League Cup games. The rules in and around them sometimes make it very, very difficult for your games in and around those cup games. So, last week we had that game. Ben Tozer had to come off at half time in that game when he wasn't due to. He then had to have a hip injection. So, you're definitely going to make a change then on the Saturday by Kean coming straight in, which is something I'm not sure I would have wanted to do that on that God-given moment. But then if we hadn't have played Kean in that game, you then end up with Kean not playing for 3 weeks before there's a league game available again. So it was an ideal opportunity to chuck him in when Ben had a sore hip and needed it injected. So sometimes you can make some changes that you don't want to. I'm pretty much one for wanting to keep the team rolling once we get on a bit of a roll. But you can't always do that. And sometimes, it's not always tiredness in their legs. It can be mental fatigue sometimes that I'll see that nobody else will see. What I mean by that is nobody else outside of the football squad or the playing squad. So you end up with a monopoly of knowledge on your players. So when I make, 4 or 5 changes or something like that, I might not always want to make 4 or 5, but sometimes you need to make them. So the one thing about that, we haven't got any more of those cup games, so we don't have to worry about who plays where and when. But then we've got our trophy games, so we need to have a little look at that, and then with a look at the week ahead.
And whatever team you put out, it's not going to be disrespecting Oxford City this weekend, is it? I mean, the trophy's getting to the stage now. You're getting almost towards the latter stages.
We haven't disrespected anybody. We never disrespect anybody. We never shout from the rooftops about what we're going to do. I've seen other comments about people saying, oh, we were told Forest Green were going to run away with the league. Well, who told you that then? Who told you that? It's never been told by us. So there's never been anything other than honesty and humility from our football club going forward. There hasn't been that. So when I read those things, it annoys me a little bit. So, we've never disrespected anybody. And we're not that good that we can disrespect anybody anyway. So, that would just be something that wouldn't happen. So as regards, disrespecting anybody, we don't do that. So that won't change. If we end up changing any of the players or the team, it'll be because we've got a squad and we want to work with them. And that's where it is. And not everybody can play every minute of every game. Sometimes because they might not be fit enough. Mentally, they might not always be right. There's lots to weigh up. But all I would say at the moment is I think the lads have done really, really well this season. Really well. I think we've been competitive in every game that we've played in.
And when you get late equalisers, like Christian Deutsch did at Altrincham, what does that do for the belief that you can always get a goal in any game?
Yeah, I mean, look, it ended up being late, but to be honest, it doesn't matter when the goals come. And we talk about it being an equaliser. We don't always want to draw, we want to win. But if we'd have taken a couple of chances before Christian got the equaliser, it would have been the winner. So we set up every week to win the game. That's what we do. And if we can't win it, because not everybody's going to be perfect every week, then we say, okay, realise it, realise where the game is, don't get beat.
What do you make of Oxford City?
Well, it's funny because the scoreline the other night doesn't necessarily reflect the game. You know, I thought that they played really well in parts, Oxford City, and then Curzon Ashton caught them on a couple of moments. The game started off with a good free kick, well taken free kick goal. I'm not sure, and I was at the game. I'm not sure that it was a 5-0. So that brings me around to the next bit of they'll be up for our game. You know, I heard on the tannoy before the game, half time, about Forest Green Saturday, Forest Green coming Saturday, Forest Green in the trophy. I heard that numerous times. And that is what we face every week.
Yeah, there's that target on your back. Is it a little bit bigger in the trophy?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just there. But that's all right. That's a credit to how well the lads have done this year, I think, that we've got that target there. I think the target's probably grown throughout the year because we've done well this year. So, you know, that's where that one is.
You mentioned Ben Tozer's hip injury. How's he after that?
Well, he hasn't trained yet, but hopefully he's going to be okay for this weekend. You can, you'll be having a chat with him afterwards anyway. So, you know, we just need to wait and see how that one is. But it's an injection, so there has to be a period of time before it can settle down. I would no doubt he'll be training tomorrow. But just having that one done, there needs to be a period of a settlement period with the injection. So see how he is through training tomorrow.
And everyone else okay?
Yes, apart from Jordan Moore Taylor. He'll be out for the rest of the season. Geordie, he's had an operation. So that went well the other day, so he's recuperating at home, but he'll be out for the rest of the season. So we need to get around that. Teddy's still quite a way away. And Charlie McCann will obviously return to the squad this week. So we're pleased with that. Charlie's trained this week, which is really good. You know, he's been through the protocol for the bang he had, and you know, it's been a long time. We've been without him for a long time. And when he got injured, I thought we would miss him. But it's been good to have him back. And we're looking forward to having him back in the group now.
And the amount of time he's been out, has he had to do a sort of a second mini pre-season, or is it able to go straight back in?
Yeah, no. But the thing is, because it was a head injury, he had to go through that protocol anyway. But there was a return to training, but then the return date to playing is different to the return date to training. So, yeah, he's been through a fair bit of running, and he's fine. And he's back training. He's been training normally this week, so that's a bonus for us.
And Jordan Moore Taylor being out for the rest of the season, how big a blow is that? Not just for the player, but the leader as well.
Yeah, big blow. But there isn't, you know, we haven't moaned about any injuries that we've had this season, whether we've been really short or not. We've ploughed on. You know, we've had Charlie missing for 6 we've had Cirks missing for 6 weeks. We're going to have Geordie missing till the end of the season. So, you know, we've had Teddy Jenks out now for another long period of time. But we haven't gone on about it. We've just got on with our job and got our heads down and worked really hard with the players that are available to us. And those lads who are injured have always been very, very supportive of the boys that are out there. And I don't envisage that changing.